Have you ever woken up, looked down, and felt nothing? Not just physically, but emotionally too. Like your body forgot how to greet the morning. No response, no stir, no sign of life. And maybe you told yourself, it's just age. This is normal. But what if it's not? What if the real reason you're not waking up the same way isn't age, but disconnection? What if those familiar signs of strength, the morning vitality you once took for granted, didn't disappear? They just went quiet? In my years of working with men over 60, I've heard this story more times than I can count. I feel empty. I'm still alive, but it's like my lower body isn't. But here's something most men never hear. There are 3 spots in your body that quietly control your sensitivity, your blood flow, and yes, your confidence. And you don't need pills, pressure, or even hands to activate them. Just breathe. In this video, I'll guide you through a simple practice using breath and awareness to restore what time and silence may have taken. It's gentle, it's natural, and it can help you feel like yourself again, without shame, without strain, and without a single pill. My name is Dr. Lily Anderson. I'm a board-certified integrative physician, and for over 20 years, I've helped men in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s reconnect with their bodies in ways that are natural, powerful, and lasting. In my clinic, I've seen men who thought they were too old, too far gone, or too broken take simple, intentional steps and regain not just their circulation, but their confidence, their energy, even their sense of manhood. The truth is, your body still remembers how to function. It just needs to be reminded, with care, not force. And that's what this video is about. Today, I'll show you 3 key points in your body that you've likely ignored for years, and how to breathe into them with awareness. Not to fix, but to reconnect. And in that reconnection, many men find something they thought was gone forever: morning vitality and a renewed sense of self. Let's begin with the first spot. You won't need any tools, just your breath, your hand, and 5 quiet minutes in the morning. Point 1. Just above the pubic bone, the vital gate. This small area, located just above your pubic bone, is often overlooked, but in both Eastern and Western traditions, it's considered a center of life force. Medically, this spot contains dense nerve endings and tiny blood vessels connected to your pelvic circulation. For many men, especially after 60, this area becomes numb, not because it's damaged, but because it's been ignored. Here's what to do. Each morning, place one hand gently just above your pubic bone. Close your eyes. Inhale slowly through your nose, letting the breath drop deep into your belly. Hold it for a moment. Then exhale gently through your mouth. As you breathe, imagine warmth returning to this area. No need to press. Your presence is enough. Repeat this breath for 1 to 2 minutes. At first, you may feel nothing. That's okay. But within a few days, many men report a gentle tingling, a sense of connection, even heat. That's your body remembering. One of my patients, Tom, once told me, it felt like that part of me had been asleep for a decade, and the breath finally knocked on its door. Point 2, the perineum, the silent switch. This is perhaps the most forgotten area of the male body. Located between the scrotum and the anus, the perineum is often ignored, yet it plays a powerful role in circulation, pelvic floor activation, and sexual function. In traditional Chinese medicine, it's known as CV1, the root point. In modern terms, we think of it as a muscular and vascular junction that helps regulate blood flow to the lower body. Here's the practice. Take a small towel and roll it gently. Sit on it, placing it so it rests directly under the perineum. Sit tall, relax your shoulders, close your eyes. Now breathe. Inhale deeply through your nose and bring your attention, not force, not tension, but awareness to the space underneath you. Imagine the breath softening that area, opening it like a flower in the morning sun. Just 3 minutes a day can bring profound change. Many men describe a warm, pulsing sensation after a few days of practice, like the area is waking up. That's because the perineum houses microvessels that open only when tension is released. Your breath is the key. One gentleman in his 70s wrote to me, "I didn't realize how much tension I carried down there. I thought I needed more strength, but really, I just needed to soften." Point 3. Inner thigh line. The energy river. Your inner thighs are more than just support for walking. They contain a hidden path of nerves and arteries that connect directly to your pelvic organs, especially the femoral artery, a major supplier of blood flow. When this area is tight, compressed, or ignored, it can restrict circulation down there. But when gently activated, it becomes a highway of vitality. Here's how to bring it back online. Lie down or sit in a comfortable chair with your feet flat. Bring your fingertips to the top of your inner thigh, where it meets the groin. Slowly stroke downward along the inner thigh, breathing gently as you do. If you find a sore or tight spot, pause. Inhale deeply as you exhale. Press lightly and send your breath toward that point. You're not massaging to fix. You're breathing to feel. Just a few passes every morning for 2 to 3 minutes is enough to create change. Over time, this simple practice helps restore softness and warmth to the area. Clear signs of improved blood flow. One former truck driver, 66 years old, described it this way: "I always thought my thighs were just there to hold me up. I never realized they held a kind of switch to everything I'd been missing." How these 3 points work together. These points, above the pubic bone, the perineum, and the inner thighs, are part of a system that modern medicine often separates, but your body doesn't. They're connected through fascia, nerves, and blood vessels. When you breathe into each one with intention, you don't just activate them individually. You awaken the entire network that supports your strength, your sensation, and your identity as a man. And unlike pills that override your system, this practice restores your natural rhythm from the inside out. Even just 5 minutes each morning can begin to shift how you feel in your body. Not because you forced something, but because you remembered how to listen. In the next section, I'll share with you a powerful story, a real case of a man who felt completely shut down, and how these exact practices brought him back to life. Because what you're feeling now is not the end. It might just be the beginning. Let me introduce you to someone I'll never forget. Mr. Robert Lang, 68 years old, a retired history teacher from Michigan. When Robert first came to my clinic, he didn't speak much. His posture was quiet. His words were careful. But his eyes, they said everything. He told me, "I'm not in pain, I'm not sick, but every morning I wake up and feel nothing. It's like the lower half of me doesn't belong to me anymore." Robert wasn't looking for pills. He wasn't chasing youth. He just wanted to feel like a man again, in his body, in his breath, in his presence. So I didn't prescribe anything. I taught him the breathing practice you've just learned. 3 spots, 5 minutes, every morning. No pressure, no expectations, just breath and attention. At first he felt silly. "I'm breathing into my thighs?" He laughed. "This is what I've come to?" But by day 5, something shifted. He wrote in his journal, "There's a heat now. Not fire, just warmth. Like something is turning back on." By day 12, he called me. "Dr. Anderson," he said, "I didn't expect this. I feel connected again. Not like I'm 20, but like I'm not invisible anymore." His voice had energy. His posture had changed. But more than anything, he had that spark again. That quiet confidence so many men lose after 60, not because they age, but because they slowly disconnect. Robert didn't do anything extreme. He didn't change his diet. He didn't go on testosterone therapy. He simply breathed into places he had ignored for decades. And in return, his body responded. That's the beauty of this method. It's not about doing more. It's about doing differently, with presence, with softness, with dignity. You may not be Robert, but if you've ever woken up and felt that same emptiness, I want you to know it doesn't have to stay that way. Because the moment you turn your attention inward, your body begins to remember. And when it remembers, it heals. You might be wondering, how can something as gentle as breath and awareness create real physical change, especially in a part of your body that's felt disconnected for so long? The answer lies in the biology of aging and the incredible power of the nervous and vascular systems when given the right kind of stimulation. As men age, one of the first changes to occur in the body is a decline in blood flow, especially to the lower regions. This isn't because something is broken, it's because the blood vessels that once opened easily now lose elasticity, and the tiny nerves that send signals to those vessels start to go quiet. Your body also naturally produces less nitric oxide after 50. This molecule is key. It helps blood vessels relax and expand. Less nitric oxide means narrower vessels, poorer circulation, and a loss of the spontaneous morning response most men remember from younger years. But here's what most men don't realize. You can't force your way back to vitality with pressure alone. In fact, many men try to stimulate themselves aggressively, thinking more friction equals more response. But that only tightens the nervous system, pushing blood vessels to constrict even further. What actually works is the opposite. Your parasympathetic nervous system, often called the rest and recover system, is the one responsible for healing, digestion, hormone balance, and yes, erections. And this system is activated not through effort, but through softness, slow breath, internal awareness, and deep physical relaxation. Each time you breathe into your pubic area, your perineum, or your inner thigh with presence, you send a signal through your vagus nerve and sacral plexus that says, "This part of me matters. Let's wake it up." This creates a neurovascular response. Blood flow begins to increase, nitric oxide levels can rise, and the local nerves begin firing again. It's like watering a garden that hasn't seen rain in years. The first few drops might not show results, but over time, the roots remember and life returns. This practice also activates what researchers call interoception, the ability to feel internal signals from the body. Men who develop interoceptive awareness often report improved sleep, better digestion, lower stress, and more vitality, not because of magic, but because they're no longer living disconnected from half of their body. So yes, the breath may seem simple, but biologically it's doing something profound. It's restoring the pathways that aging tried to silence. And it's doing so gently, without side effects, without shame, and without forcing anything your body isn't ready for. Because the truth is, your body already knows how to come back. It just needs you to slow down, to listen, and to begin. You don't need to fix everything overnight. You don't need to feel strong, ready, or confident before you begin. In fact, the men who see the most progress are the ones who start before they feel ready. Because what your body really needs is consistency, not perfection. Every morning you pause, even for just 1 minute, and place your hand over that quiet area above your pubic bone. Every breath you take into your lower belly instead of your chest. Every time you sit, close your eyes and let yourself feel your body without judgment. You are giving yourself permission to return. And I want to remind you, this is not about performance. This is about presence. It's not about becoming who you were at 30. It's about reconnecting with who you are at 60, 70, or beyond. You still have time. You still have life. You still have strength, perhaps buried beneath years of stress, silence, and shame, but it's there. I've seen men in their late 70s bring back vitality they thought was long gone, not through pressure or medication, but through small acts of kindness toward their own body. So if this feels too simple, good. That means you can begin. You don't need more products. You don't need to push through. You need to breathe, to feel, to remember that your body is not the enemy. It's been waiting for you to come home. Let today be the day you begin, not with effort, but with awareness. One breath, one spot, One small act of reconnection. That's enough to start. If you've made it this far, it tells me something important. You haven't given up on yourself. And that, more than anything, is the beginning of real change. So here's my invitation to you. Tomorrow morning, before the noise of the day begins, find a quiet place. Just 5 minutes. No pressure, no goal, just you and your breath. Place your hand where your body feels distant. Close your eyes and breathe, not to fix, but to reconnect. If you're willing to take that small step, I want to support you. Type, "I'm ready to reconnect" in the comments, and I'll personally send you a simple guide to walk you through this morning practice. It's quiet, respectful, and yours to keep. And if this message spoke to something inside you, consider subscribing. Not for me, for you. This channel is here to help you reclaim strength without shame. One breath, one habit, one morning at a time. You're not alone in this journey. Thousands of men are waking up to themselves again, not through force, but through presence. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to begin. And now you know how.